wise man once said, the will to win, the desire to succeed,
What takes guts is to put yourself on the line.
the urge to reach your full potential.
A leader makes the way.
These are the keys that will unlock the door to personal excellence. Success Resources is the world's leading events promoter of business, personal development, and wealth creation programs. For over 30 years, we've helped over 10 million people across 30 countries unlock their full potential. From North America to Europe, to Africa, to Asia, to Oceania, we are the key to your personal success. We open the door to the world's best speakers, such as Anthony Robbins, Sir Richard Branson, Robert Kiyosaki, and T. Harv Eker, to name a few. Praised by Donald Trump for being the world's best, we have over 500 events a year and access to the greatest thinkers, achievers, and motivators of our time. We guide you to the success that lies in every one of us.
But you will not discover your greatness in your comfort zone.
You have to have confidence in yourself.
We have never really truly reached our destination. There's always another level to strive for. Your best is yet to come. Success Resources, your learning partners.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Friday. Friday is a day to finish your goal for the week. It's a day to celebrate that which you set out to accomplish at the beginning of the week. Well done to everybody for surviving the week. Give yourself a pat on your back, okay? Okay, survive the week. That's good, that's good. Wow. Okay, Dr. Clemen has a beautiful cat there. Now, I know a lot of people are very fearful of Bitcoin right now because it is below 40,000. In fact, it has gone to in the range of 38,000. So what is actually happening? Come on, Bitcoin, come on, what's happening to you? Is there light at the end of the tunnel? So today we will present our view from the market, facts and data from the market, and let you decide. Now, we are very bullish on Bitcoin. In fact, the secret to success is to wake up early, work hard, and own Bitcoin. Welcome to Bitcoin Journey to 100,000. My name is Richard Tan from Success Resources. We are the world leading education provider every week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. This is streamed live on Facebook and YouTube. We make video tracking the incredible journey of Bitcoin to 100,000. So if this is a journey you like to follow, make sure you subscribe to the channel, smash the thumbs up button and also the notification. So whenever we have a video, you are the first to know. Now, I'm very delighted to bring my friend and my friend's friend okay, to the program, right? He's an authority in financial investing and a very well-known teacher to many thousands of students all over the world in the art of wealth creation. Welcome, Dr. Clemen, and welcome your friend.
Hey, Richard, thank you so much for having me. And you know, today I brought along my friend, got a bit of grumpy face, woke her up from her sleep. But you know, today is really exciting. Thank God it's Friday. It's the biggest learning time of our era. And we're going to kind of look at what is happening in the market. So let's start off the show, Richard.
Thank you, Dr. Clemen. Now, you know that I'm not surprised that many people are panicking. The Bitcoin price has gone below the support line, 40, 39, and now in the 38. In fact, the market is in extreme fear in the market. Bitcoin go below $40,000. Question to you, Dr. Clemen, is what is happening? What's happening to Bitcoin? Come on, what's happening to Bitcoin?
Wow. That's a powerful question to begin with. First of all, let's look at the charts. And the way to look at the charts, we go through this way. Here we go. All right. So step one, this is on the one-day candle chart, as we can see all here. And back then, we have been drawing a very strong support line at 40,000. So let me draw this support line at 40,000, kind of a spread from here to here. All right. Now, if I kind of zoom out a little bit more, and there's a few ways for me to manipulate chart, and this is how I do it, all right? 40,000 line is shown right here. And today we're at the first break of the hair right up here, all right? So this is the part where we kind of see that, oh my gosh, first time we broke through a very strong support line, 40,000. And we have been talking about locking in your favorite number, whether it's 38888 or 39999. And today, what is the maximum possible best price that you can ever get, all right? So I kind of zoom into this red candle right here. The lowest price it has hit is $38,592. So that is kind of found right at the bottom of the candle tip right here. Now, how do we navigate in this whole change that took place just last night, all right? So here we go. Several articles start to pop out on all the mainstream media, to traditional media, to social media about Bitcoin dropping below 39,000. And first thing I did is this. I want to check back against the biggest player. What are they thinking about it, all right? So I'm going to pull out an article right here that I shared with my community. And I think it's so important for us to take stock of what the big players are thinking about. So I'm going to kind of hunt through this particular article that I just shared. And give me 1 second, and here we go. We have this article or this tweet coming out from Michael Saylor, all right? So, wow, there's so many articles that we've been sharing. 1 second, kind of trying to find where is it right now. Aha, I found it. Here we go. This is the one I think that is most important to everybody's thinking in how to navigate during this time. And what essentially this tweet from Michael Saylor back in 30th of December 2021. The most important point that we need to note is his cost price, 30,159. And you can think about it right now, once 40,000 has been broken, the next support line will be 30,000. We always think in terms of nice round number, right? So if we take this as the benchmark price right now, we come back to here, all right? So what we do over here is this. We start to plot out our strategy. And a strategy goes this way, 40,000 range, and we mark it out to the $30,000 range. Here we go. Right now, officially, we have entered into this brand new red box. And, you know, depending on the day 2 of the red candle, today is considered day 1 when it breached 40,000. If tomorrow it stays below 40,000, we have officially entered a new red box right here, which is the 30 to 40,000 range. And let us remind all of our viewers, all right, you guys are really experienced. Those of you who hang out with Richard and me, we have gone through this 30 to 40,000 range before, which we defined back then. We call it the Red Sea. If you guys remember, this was the moment in time we went through the Red Sea together, right over here, 40,000, 30,000 range, all right? So it's just entering back into that particular Red Sea. And then, of course, the holding power comes from Michael Saylor, which is shown right here. He has how many coins right now supporting at the 30,000 range? The number of Bitcoins, 124,391 physical Bitcoin. Now, this is at a cost price of $3.75 billion. So at this moment in time, I believe that all of you, all of us are buying below at 3.75 billion. And this is the moment in time you need to leverage off the psychology of a much bigger player than any one of us combined. And his cost price is 3.75 billion at an average cost price of $30,000 per coin. He owns 124,000 Bitcoin. Take this into perspective, navigate back to the 30 to 40,000 range and have a clarity of what this means. And for those of you first time listening to us, I want to encourage you to really go and check back the very first dozen of videos that Richard and myself have done back in June 2021 last year. We started our video right here when Bitcoin hit below 30,000. That was the low price at 28,000. That's how we started this video series. So give yourself a chance to recap what we've gone through during that time. Hold on to the faith, hope, and love. And then we pray really, really hard whether there's a chance to break above this 40,000 threshold. And then back then, last year, we hit an all-time high 69,000. So we are back right now into the Red Sea. Back to you, Richard.
Thank you, Dr. Clemen. Well, another news that came out of the market is the SEC rejection of Bitcoin ETF. Now we know that if FEC approve a Bitcoin spot ETF, it will have a great impact on the market. But for several years, SEC has rejected every applicants, and there are many still queuing up. So 2 days ago, SEC had rejected the First Trust Skybridge Spot ETF proposal. Now another one will be decision will be happened today. That is a Fidelity Investment Proposal Spot ETF that is due today. And we noticed that there's one in February for Grayscale, and there's 6th of February, there's another one. Now, Dr. Clemen asked you this question, that does this rejection surprise you, and why?
Yes, very great question, Richard. And first of all, we are not surprised at all that SEC is going all out to reject as many applications as possible because of the concept called buying time. They need to buy time to get their house in order. They are running out of excuses to reject all these Bitcoin spot ETF applications. So let's take a look at a few important articles. The first one, I was trading in the night about maybe 12 midnight this morning when the news first thing came out was published that they rejected the Skybridge spot ETF, all right? Now, this rejection is not like, how should I put it? These rejections came about after they have approved the Bitcoin futures ETF last year. 2 of them were approved. People were trading on the ticker symbol on the brokerage platform, straight off, very clean. But right after they approved the Bitcoin futures ETF, subsequent Bitcoin spot ETF applications got rejected or got delayed. So, of course, the one that got rejected, game over for them. Then we have to look forward to what is the next upcoming one potentially that might stand a chance, all right? So again, I want to highlight to all of our viewers right here, we are really looking at these 2 guys right here, all right? These 2 guys form the backdrop of the thinking behind SEC, and the first one is Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, which is super huge as a company. How huge is huge? Let me show all our viewers about Grayscale, and here we go. All right, and hold on a second. They kind of protected their website. Oh my gosh, I had to click on a few things before I can navigate on their website. Click on a few items that contain a boot. Okay, verify, and I hope I can get in right now. Here we go. So this is Grayscale that we are talking about, and if we go to the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust right over here, their total assets under management is $27.4 billion. So this guy holds the fort at this moment. Among all the applications, they already have cash in hand, asset under management. So they are the strongest bidder among the rest, all right? So for Grayscale, it's pushed back to 6th of February. And then the other one that stands a chance will be Bitwise Bitcoin ETF, spot ETF application that's moved to 1st February. Again, we remain focused on these 2 candidates, back to our logic of a 1, 4, 6, 1st of February, 6th of February, both ETF, spot ETF applications on the line. And of course, the 4th of February will be the official launch of the China's digital yuan. Now, taking all this into perspective, how should you think about it? Now, of course, with so many current rejected spot ETF, some of you may be turning into a faint-hearted and you say, hey, maybe there's no way this thing is going to get approved. But I urge you to think about the logic behind our thinking. And the logic goes this way. You cannot approve a much more complex instrument like the futures ETF without approving the underlying instrument, which is the spot ETF. We really cannot wrap our heads around this. Not just us, is every single Wall Street titan out there is thinking about the same problem. What exactly is the regulator looking for? And he needs to explain. If it's an outright ban across the board, they would have announced it already, that they do not permit any form of spot ETF application. They would have said it. Why some got rejected immediately, while some got delayed. And I think boils down to two keywords: buying time. Back to you, Richard.
Thank you, Dr. Clemen. Now, Dr. Clemen, of course, Gary Gensler is delaying this accepting of Bitcoin, but there's a lot of pressure on him. So some time down the road, that will buckle, and then we will have a spot ETF. It's not whether we have or not, but just when we will have it. Now, this Bitcoin journey to 100,000 is not a myth, and it's all based on logic and sound economic principle. And that is depending on the adoption. And more people adopt Bitcoin, it will make Bitcoin stronger, and that will impact the price. Now, let's talk about adoption. Now, in the last 1 week, there's a lot of adoption. Number one, there are banks who launched Bitcoin and Bitcoin trading and custodian. There is a mayor who of New York who accept his paycheck in Bitcoin, yeah, and also a giant tech giant. We are not talking about Facebook. We are not talking about Microsoft. Another tech giant like Google also going into crypto. So, Dr. Clemen, can you share with us what is your sentiment with all this news? What is your sentiment? Are you bullish or are you bearish? Even if Bitcoin now is going into the red, are you still bullish or bearish? And what is your sentiment?
Yes, very, very great question. Fascinating indeed, because, you know, all these news are coming out regardless of the price movement of Bitcoin. Let's get it clear. They don't look at the price. They look at the future, what is at stake. Why a decentralized blockchain is so important to mankind, or in fact, we call it the human race. So let me walk through a few important articles. The first one is New York Mayor Eric Adams. A Bitcoin booster is taking his first paycheck. In fact, his entire paycheck in Bitcoin. All right, that one is a well-known news. He's pushing for New York versus Miami. There are cities right now bidding to be the crypto hub of United States of America. The second article from close by, neighbor Philippines, the largest bank to launch crypto trading service as well. And these are ongoing one. You're going to see country or banks within your regions, banks in Asia, in Europe, in Middle East, every one of them start to gradually take on this step, regardless of the price movement. I want to stress this again. They don't make decision based on the price of Bitcoin trading at what levels, all right? They make the decision because this asset class is right now being accepted worldwide the moment it crossed the $1 trillion mark, all right? So this is really important. And of course, we also have El Salvador exploring a low interest loans backed by Bitcoin. I mean, these are all important milestones of what we call steps leading to the full-scale adoption. And then you pan out through the network effects, all right? We started from countries right up to the small businesses. And of course, right over here, Richard just mentioned one of the mama stocks is Google. Google finally pushes into blockchain and crypto. Why? We have to keep asking ourselves why, all right? Meaning to say, this is a direction that is unstoppable. You can't block this direction anymore. And with the latest announcement of Microsoft acquiring Activision for $69 billion, the largest acquisition in its history, the trend is very, very clear. The trend is moving into a digital space, moving to digital currency, and that's the reason why the tracking of all these milestones is so important to us. Now, with that, I kind of jump into the population, right? This is a recent report released by Crypto.com. Global cryptocurrency users to reach 1 billion users by end of 2022. So I'm thinking about, okay, if you hit like 1 billion users, what's the real number that we are competing against? Right here, This is the total world's population on planet Earth. Let's round it up to 8 billion. That means there's another 8 more X to go through. If we have 1 billion adoption, that's multiplied by 8 times more to hit the entire population on planet Earth. And that's a really, really big vision. It is no different from any human being out there today holding a physical currency in their pocket. Whether it's a Japanese yuan, Singapore dollars, Hong Kong dollars, British pound, US dollars, doesn't matter, because currency is the de facto form of barter trading. I give you my currency note, you give me your products and services. Like, I mean, we go back to the ancient history, the study of bartering, right? So if that being the case, can there be a single dominator currency that everybody will hold? This is the proposition here. 1 billion by end of 2022, perhaps by the time we finish the decade, 2030, we're probably going to hit 7.9 or 8 billion population to be exact. And this is what got us really, really excited. Yes, Richard.
Thank you, Dr. Clemen. So we covered the adoption. You find that banks are adopting, countries are adopting, tech like giant tech like Google is adopting, and 1 billion people at the end of this year or next year will be on crypto. So adoption is moving very, very fast. Now, today is Friday. It's also question day. You can post your question. I invite you to post your question to Dr. Clemen, and questions are welcome, so that you can share your question with us, and we all can learn together. So post your question. We answer your question at the end of this session. Okay, so do post your question. Now, next is Dr. Clemen. Gary Gensler is a very powerful person, and he has been the key to many economic decisions and actually impact the world using his decision. And recently, on Wednesday, SEC Chair Gary Gensler issued a warning. Actually, it's a warning to retail investor. And this is what he says. He says that statistics shows that investing is good, but trading is often not. So, Dr. Clemen, my question to you is, what do you make out of his statement, and what do you make out of his advice from his statement?
Yes, Richard, this is again very, very fascinating to me, coming from the big boss of Securities Exchange Commission. And we're going to dissect 3 important points as a takeaway. So the headline goes this way as I read out to all of our viewers. SEC Gary Gensler says brokerage apps want users to trade frequently, which can be bad for small investors. Now, there are 3 important sub-paragraphs right here. I'm going to start addressing each one of them one by one. So key point number 1 right here. Chairman's issued a warning to retail investors who use commission-free brokerage applications to buy and sell stocks. In fact, this is targeted at one company. All of us know who is this company. None other than Robinhood. They built their entire platform based out of gamification. That means to say you don't really have to use your brain that much, and you just fire off your trades, which we do not encourage at all. Fundamentally, you need to know what does the company do, what is the business direction outlook. There are a few steps involved. We call it the FIAT methodology. Fundamental analysis of the company, insider trading analysis of the company, A for alerts, all the news surrounding the company and all the transactions surrounding the company, and finally, technical analysis of the chart. Now, Robinhood was not built that way. It was built so simple that any Tom, Dick, and Harry can come in, just fire off their trades. So this is the part that Gary Gensler really, really doesn't like it. And he highlighted commission-free. So is it really commission-free? And we said it in our previous videos, this is deceptive marketing. It's not commission-free. Today, we know that Robinhood accepts payment for order flow from the bigger players like Citadel. That means to say, for you as a retail investor trading through their platform, you are not getting the best bid and offer prices because it was already sold to Citadel, who control the best bid and offer prices. This is the one that he's really gunning for, payment for order flow, all right? So with this in mind, then we go to the second idea right here. I would say to all the public as you are investing, be aware that, let me just read out, be aware that they are trying to get you to trade more often. That's their motivation. And again, this is kind of targeted at Robinhood, unfortunately, because Robinhood kind of, every time you trade, they are making more and more money from the payment for order flow. And over time, once the SEC boss goes after Robinhood against payment for order flow, their business model is no longer sustainable. Which brings us to the third and most important point, which I hope to give you a sense of clarity, all right? Statistics usually show that investing is good, but trading often is not. Let's dive into this concept, investing versus trading. I think this is such an important concept. I want to take a little bit more time to expound to you the main key difference of the two, all right? So let me set this up, and here we go. I'm going to put it out right here in front of you. Investing vs trading. All right? What exactly is the difference between these two words? Hear me out. Today you enter into a trade. Take, for example, you say that, oh, I love iPhone 13, the latest 5G phone. I love the phone so much so that I decided to buy the stocks of Apple. All right? Now, let's say you bought the stocks of Apple for numerical, easy understanding sake. You start off, you entered to buy at $100. All right? So I'm going to put down here, buy $100 of the Apple stock per share. All right? $100 per share. Now, what happens if the very next day, due to some positive news, perhaps earnings announcement, perhaps there's a breakthrough in their product, perhaps there's a major positive news that Apple is going to launch iCar and so on, guess what? The stock price decided to spike up from $100, it spikes to $120 for whatever reason, all right? Now, let me ask all of you, the moment it spikes to $120, you are making a 20% profit. My question to you is, would you sell? My question to you is, would you sell to take your 20% profit in one day? I say it again, all right? Spike to $120 in one day. So let me be very, very explicit about this understanding in one day. All right? I put it out in front of you. All of us can study this together. Would you exit to take a 20% profit? Or you say to yourself, I want to keep this for as long as possible? Now, all of you got your myriad of answers. Some say yes, some say no, some say maybe, some forever wouldn't buy anything one. Okay? This is the true concept of the time squeeze theory. And the time squeeze theory explains to us that if you can make 20% today, why don't you exit? Why should you wait 1 year to make 20%? And if you can do it in one day, right? So the moment you have great profits and you have an industry benchmark, you go out there, try to find any instruments that can help you make 20% in 1 year. Let me tell you, very few. Very, very few instruments can generate for you 20% in 1 year. But somehow, through the understanding of the series of news triggering Apple's stock price movement and the deployment of different instruments, perhaps stocks versus options, you get to make 20% in 1 day. Go for it. Now, this is defined as short-term trading. You make 20% profit in 1 day. Then what happens if the stock price decided to spike down instead of spiking up? So right now, I give you another thing to think about. And this thing to think about is right over here. Spikes to $80 in 1 day. Now, how would you react in such a situation? Yes, spike down to $80 in one day. This is the time, unfortunately, you can't trade anymore unless you want to sell at a loss. Then perhaps this is the time you turn on your thinking head and say, oh, I already intended to go in as a long-term investor of Apple. I'll wait. Yes, you will wait, because history has shown that, and all the backtesting has shown that over time, stocks generally will rise. It's a question of how much time, maybe 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, just to break even. So let's say it takes about 6 months to 1 year to go back to the original $100. Now that duration of time is called investing. Yep, you're investing so that you don't lose, and you extend a longer runway for yourself with this idea that I'm investing for the long haul. Now, the summary of what I'm sharing with you is, how do you condition your psychology as you enter the market? There's no proven perfect model out there. But my philosophy is this: in a time squeeze environment, if I can make 10% in one day, take it. If I can't do that, I wait a longer time. I turn on, become a long-term investor. And that is the big difference between investing and trading, which is a totally different concept of what Gary Gensler is trying to tell us. He is just trying to tell us, of all things that you do, please don't trade on a gamification platform, a platform that doesn't allow you to make analysis, use your brain, and then you just fire off at will. He's trying to tell you to avoid those kind of platforms. He's not trying to tell you to avoid investing altogether or avoid trading altogether. And that's my takeaway. Back to you, Richard.
Thank you, Dr. Clemen. Thank you, Dr. Clemen. Well, today is Friday. We invite questions. So if you have any question, do post on the chat, Q&A chat, so that we'll take your question at the end of it. Now, Dr. Clemen, Bitcoin has gone down. It's, at the top 69,000. It's gone to 60,000, to 55,000, 50,000, 40,000. Now it's below 40,000. Now, many investors has gone in above this price, right? I mean, some have gone in below this price. That's good. You are still in the green, but many has gone at 50,000, 60,000, even at 65,000. So to some people, it is a blessing. To some people, it is a curse. And recently, Michael Saylor, the most bullish person, was interviewed on Bloomberg, and he has a lesson. And the question to you, Dr. Clemen, is what lesson can we learn from Michael Saylor in this interview?
Yes, Richard, this is really awesome. He spoke really from heart about how should you handle this current turmoil in terms of the volatility in prices. So let us really focus our mind right now, listen to this interview, and I'm sure you're going to have a big takeaway. Here we go. Let me just refresh again. It is not playing. I just got to refresh it one more time.
Started having a sense.
Again, 4 seconds. We wait for 4 seconds. Advertisement.
Yeah, let me just play out first.
The importance of technology.
Okay, skip ad. That's good.
Possible winter. Are you really not feeling the cold?
Look, if you're going to invest in Bitcoin, a short time horizon is 4 years. A mid-time horizon is 10 years. The right time horizon is forever. Warren Buffett said, if you wouldn't hold it for 10 years, you shouldn't hold it for 10 minutes. So if you look at the course of 4 years, no one's ever lost money over 4 years holding Bitcoin. And if you look at, our experience, we started buying it at $10,000 and now it's up by a factor of 4. So given the right time horizon, you're fine. So it's a blessing and a curse. The blessing is it makes it the most exciting, interesting thing in the financial universe everywhere in the world. And the curse is it can induce anxiety for people that have a short attention span or are focused on a narrow time horizon.
What a well-said word from Michael Saylor, and this is really fascinating to me. And likewise, my takeaway is this: a blessing or a curse. Now, the curse is this: if you are the type of trader or investor always very anxious when the price goes down, it means that The curse truly falls on your conviction level. Have you done enough study and analysis of this blockchain? Why you get into Bitcoin in the first place? Because this is not a lottery ticket. This is our belief what the future holds for a world that's run by decentralized blockchain. That's our conviction. And my conviction stems from the fact that if every country out there is going to launch their own digital currency, over time, they will have to do a currency pairing. And they will have to pair the mother of all coins, none other than Bitcoin. That was my thinking. That's how I was shaped back in 2019, because I already kind of figured it out. China is going to launch their own digital currency. Back then, it was called DCEP, Digital Currency Electronic Payment. And over time, through euphemism, they finally rebranded to Digital Yuan. And next month, 4th of February, is coming to pass. They will announce and launch to the whole world. All right? Conviction level is a curse because it's a true reflection. Have you done enough checks? Have you done enough study? Are you really truly committed and have the full conviction to go in? Now, it is a blessing, of course, if you bought it at a low price. You know, we started in 2020, average price about $8,000 per coin. And then today, some of you, perhaps you bought at an all-time high at 69,000, perhaps at 60,000, perhaps even at 50,000, or even at 40,000. And you say, oh my gosh, I kind of caught it at a high price. But when is high truly a high? Because the real fullest potential of Bitcoin has not even hit its peak. You know, all this thinking that we've gone into, a commodity that has a fixed supply of 21 million has no ceiling on its price. Something that is scarce will always go up through time. That is the core principle of Bitcoin. All right? So you will have the blessing if you've gone through this season of baptism of fire, I call it. If you can survive the Red Sea, you have the blessing. The harvest is bountiful, is waiting for you. But it will be cursed if you kind of be very flimsy about it, not serious about it, you know, not even understanding why you get into it in the first place. Then you'll always be a permanent curse, not just for Bitcoin, perhaps in everything that you do. Back to you, Richard.
Thank you, Dr. Clemen. Well, I heard this, Michael Saylor just now was saying that short-term investing in Bitcoin is 3-4 years. If anybody have invest 4 years ago, nobody lose money. Medium term is 10 years, long term is forever. That's kind of really, really amazing. So Dr. Clemen, let's look at some of the questions, and some of them maybe Michael Saylor have answered already, or you have answered it. So let's look at the first question from Sonja Chong. She asked the question, for those of us who have already invested in Bitcoin and have limited fund left to invest, in your personal opinion, right? In your personal opinion, understand no one really knows and it is a best guess. Is it more likely to bounce back above 40,000, or do you think it's more likely to go downtrend? Thank you.
I think the question, first of all, Richard, to answer Sonja's question, right now, all of you shouldn't care about what is the actual price of Bitcoin. What you should really care about is what price you bought. I rephrase again, I try to rephrase in many ways so that you all try to internalize this idea. What you should really care about is your price. That is always the step one, your reference point. So if you bought at 50,000, 50,000 is your price. You bought at 60,000, 60,000 is your price, all right? We start off with that. Then step two, we look at the price of Bitcoin today. And again, I want to show up this chart so that you have some relative check back, all right? So this chart right now shows us, okay, you've gone up, gone down over a 1 year period. Today is floating at about 39,000, bounce off 38,000, around that range, 38888, all right? At step two, you compare, okay, right now perhaps you're in the red, because if you have gone in anywhere in this range, you are in the red. We know that. Then the step three thinking for you is, well, how long is it going to take for you to achieve break even? And you ask yourself, how long can I hold? Are you in need of cash tomorrow? And we only invest with our spare cash. We never invest based on margin trading, or you borrow money from some friends and urgently have to repay it, or you are taking money out of some emergency fund. Please don't do that. That is already a wrong step one. So if you don't do anything, basically the money will sit in your bank, correct? At step 3. So step 3, what I think about is this. Inflation rate right now is sitting at 7% high, the highest in history. The banks are paying me 0.05% interest per year. For doing nothing with my money in the bank, I'm already negative 6.95%. All right, maybe you say 6.95%, this negative is so much smaller than the drop of Bitcoin. Yes, you are absolutely right. By the way, if you keep your money in the bank for the next 10 years, nothing will change anyway. I say again, if you keep your money in the bank for the next 10 years, do you think you'll experience some phenomenal, significant interest return that is more than 100%? No, not possible. You already knew that. For the last 30, 50 years, you can already backtrack that on your own. But if you take this money, put into Bitcoin, which we are thinking really, really hard about it, and we have Bill Miller who allocated 50% of his wealth into Bitcoin, we say that perhaps we stand a chance of a price appreciation over time. That's what we're thinking about. So all step 1, 2, 3 boils down to one word, and that's called time. Are you today rushing for time? Do you need the money urgently? If not, there's no different from you keeping the money in the bank for the next 10, 30, 40, 50 years of your life. Are you patient enough to see through your conviction? This is a real test right now, because at the very, very top, only a few are standing. And I want to draw something that I share in my community today, and I hope to read this article to all of you to kind of encourage you. What am I thinking at this moment? On the day of a Red Sea, what should you be thinking about, right? So let me find this article, and here we go. I got it, and let me just magnify it. Here we go. Let me read out to you. Oops, right over here. If you are right, if you are sure you are right, you need not worry what the world says or thinks. If you are ever to achieve noteworthy success in your life, you must be willing to stand apart from the crowd. Success is something that's achieved by the minority, not the majority of people. You will also discover as you climb the ladder of success that there are many who, out of jealousy or envy, will belittle your achievements. Nevertheless, if you have the courage of your convictions, nothing can deter you from your choice. You develop confidence in your beliefs by doing your own thinking and by constantly testing and revising your knowledge. This is by Napoleon Hill, my teacher. And I can tell you, back then when we bought at 8,000, how many stones were thrown at us? About out of jealousy or envy. People are telling us we're mad, we're crazy. We hold on, right? So when you're making money, there are people saying things about you. When you're losing money, people are also saying things about you. Just remember, anything you do, somebody will just say something about you. So the big takeaway from this lesson is this. If you are sure you are right, you need not worry what the world thinks. I hope this can encourage you.
Thank you, Dr. Clemen. Thank you, Dr. Now, there's a question by Rose Maria. Rose Maria asked this question. I bought Bitcoin in stagger amount when it was 62, then 56, and then 48,000. Now it's 38. Should I buy again? Please advise.
Oh, yes. So this is the part where I showed earlier on from our good friend, Michael Saylor. All right. So I'm going to kind of pull out Michael Saylor right here. Hang on a second. Now, you are thinking about averaging down, and I want to teach you a different concept, right? So you can go to Twitter, look for Michael Saylor, and one of his most recent tweets can be found by scrolling down. And it's very, very recent only, all right? I was just looking at it this morning. And right over, coming up soon, right over here, okay? This is a man who started off buying Bitcoin around my price. He started off buying at 10,000. We bought at about 8,000, all right? And this is the only man probably that keeps averaging up, not averaging down. Can you imagine? The first time he bought was 10,000, but as the price goes up, he just keep buying more and more until his average price from 10,000 move up to 30,000. He's averaging up, right? Now, he can choose not to do anything when he bought at 10,000. I can tell you he's just very happy every day one. But right now, he's very close to 38,000. He will be severely tested, much more than all of us combined. Because how much he put in? Please watch very carefully, 3.75 billion. That's more than every one of us combined right here. All right? Now, so to Rosemary's question, you are thinking about averaging down. You bought at high price, you say, as it goes on, I want to buy more and buy more. Maybe you take a pause first, because I'm looking at how Michael Saylor will be severely tested on his $30,000 threshold. The moment he goes red, learn from the best how they react. Is he going to average down, or is he going to continue to average up? That's on my thinking head right now, all right? So 3 potential scenarios will play out. The moment price of Bitcoin goes below 30,000, most probable outcome most people thinking about is that Michael Saylor will start to sell. I don't think so. I don't think he will start to sell the moment it goes below 30,000. Second probable outcome, in fact, the moment it goes below 30,000, I believe that he will buy more to average down, to bring down his cost price of 30,000 to below 30,000. Third probable outcome, he does nothing. He just wait and see, like everybody waiting and see, because they are buying time for one major trigger announcement, which is the Bitcoin spot ETF approval. All right. So these are the 3 probable outcomes I can think of for this year. And if all things fail, one more chance. Midterm election 8th of November, maybe they should get rid of the Democrats. They change your party. You bring on a party that's crypto friendly and don't sit on the freaking ass and don't do anything about it. This is what's happening right now with a Democratic controlled party in the United States of America. They are sitting on something and not doing anything about it. So let me tell you, the rich guys, the influential guys, is not going to wait to see what's the wind, how the wind is going to blow. They will influence the direction of the wind. And perhaps there might be a turnover of who really controls the government of the United States of America. Look out for 8th of November. And again, if you can wait enough all the way to 2024, then vote in the new president of the United States of America. That will be the next presidential election year. And that's how I see it will play out all the way to the next big election, 2024, if the incumbent sits on it and does nothing about it. Back to you, Richard.
Thank you, Dr. Clemen. Dr. Clemen, I'd like to end this session. In 2011, there is an expert. The expert predict Bitcoin will go down, and he was kind of tweet and very, very happy to say, wow, luckily I never buy. Now, can you share with us in relation to what happened in 2011 and what's happening right now?
Yes, 2011, there was kind of a really, really interesting tweet that kind of pop out of, and it's kind of a deja vu right now, because right here, over here, it says this in 2011, all right? Look, I found another expert like Dave who posted about how Bitcoin would crash. He said he was glad he didn't buy when it dipped to $2.70. I mean, 2011 is exactly about 10 years ago. Can you imagine you bought Bitcoin at $2.70, or even just round it down $1? That's like 38,000 times of growth of the value of your crypto assets. And maybe, today there will be many people posting tweets and many people, kind of making sure they screen capture what they posted. And 10 years from now, somebody will post, look, I found another expert like so-and-so who posted about how Bitcoin would crash. He said he was glad he didn't buy it when it dipped to 38,000. And 10 years later, maybe it's trading at 380,000. I don't know.
Thank you, Dr. Clemen. Thank you, Dr. Clemen. So this expert Nick Allen is probably kicking his own ass because he could have bought it at 270 at that time, 2011. So here you are on this coming Friday, this incredible journey of Bitcoin to 100,000. Now we are very bullish, and we believe that the secret to success is work hard, wake up early in the morning, and own Bitcoin. And I want to wish every one of you a wonderful, wonderful week ahead until we meet again on Monday. Thank you so much.
We believe that investing in our education
has the highest leverage and is the greatest equalizer.
Regardless of background, everyone can have the same opportunities in education.
We believe in doing what is right, not what is easy.
We believe in anything that is worth doing, we do it with passion and excellence.
We believe that happiness is the key to success.
If you love what you're doing, you're already successful.
And that both success and failure are temporary, worth sharing about and even celebrating.
That said, we believe we have had our fair share of both. Yay!
We believe that when the market is tough, we can be tougher.
We believe the best product should win, not the best sales pitch.
We believe that winners are winners because they don't quit.
We believe that the biggest sin is to make learning boring.
We believe in making decisions and owning our results.
We believe in innovation to continue to provide value to all around us.
We believe that together, everyone achieves more.
We believe that real leaders don't create followers, they create more leaders.
We believe that we can learn from our competitors.
We believe that women work harder, do better, and are more committed.
We believe it's okay to be proven wrong.
It's okay to change your mind.
And it's okay to cry when you're having a really rough day.
We believe in giving everyone the benefit of the doubt.
We believe in always saying please and thank you.
We believe that if dreaming is free, then we should dream big.
And then working hard to achieve it.
We believe that if we have knowledge, it's our duty to pass it down.
We believe that we shouldn't teach something we ourselves don't believe in.
We believe it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission.
We believe in saying sorry and meaning what we say.
We believe in being high-tech, means adding a human touch.
We believe that no one has all the answers.
Not even us.
But we go find out and we learn.
We believe that learning never ends, and once you stop learning,
you start dying.
We believe that one person
or one great idea
can change the world.
That's why we believe in helping you grow and succeed.
And with your help, we can change lives globally.
We believe.
We believe. We believe.
Thank you for your belief in us.